On to reports coming in from Iraq, where suicide bombers have killed 7 people and wounded 12. This in an attack on a power plant north of Baghdad. Suicide bombers armed with grenades and wearing explosive belts. According to details that are trickling in at this point, 3 attackers entered the power plant in Samarra. According to reports, the attackers targeted workers at that plant. Security forces killed 2 of the bombers. Important to highlight here, the attack happened as Iraqi Shiites marked the first day of the eid-al-adha feast. No group has claimed responsibility for the attack so far, but the Islamic State frequently carries out suicide bombings in Iraq. This is a terror attack in Baghdad coming in from the Samarra area. Let's go straight across to our international correspondent Daniele Pagani joining us for more on this. Daniele, what more are you gathering at this point?
Hi Molly, good afternoon. Well, as you correctly said, this was an attack against a power plant in an area north to Baghdad. Samarra is not just an area. Samarra is a very important city in Iraq. And it's worth spending 2 words about the specificity of this city. Samarra is pretty famous because during the entire Iraqi war, it was part of the so-called Sunni triangle of violence. So Samarra was one of the places where the conflict between the Shia believers in Iraq and the Sunni believers in Iraq had fierce clashes and suffered a lot of violence from 2003 onwards. The city is particularly important for the Shia believers. It contains at least 2 mosques of 2 of the main imams venerated by the Shia community all over the world. So the attack, even though we don't have anyone that has claimed it officially yet, perhaps it is at least within the stream of sectarian violence which is sweeping all across the Middle East in the last years.
Right, and also the fact that it's taking place on the day when the Iraqi Shiites are marking the first day of the eid-al-adha feast. Daniele, the timing also here on that front is significant.
Definitely, this is a significant day. Obviously, during eid-al-adha, especially today, many believers do gather, and therefore it's easier to maximize the damage that each and every terrorist attack creates with minimum effort. This is now the strategy. The Islamic State has been nearly completely defeated, I would say, in Iraq. There are the last pockets of the resistance in the city of Tal Afar. There is the city of Hawija, south to Mosul, nearly 100 kilometers south to Mosul, still under their control. But the Islamic State being defeated militarily doesn't mean that the Sunni extremism movements and the Sunni terror movements are completely defeated in Iraq. The battle to defeat them is more than military, is a sectarian battle. It needs to be fought within the hearts and minds of many Sunni Sunni extremist elements of Iraq who believe to be betrayed day by day by the Shia, let's say, ruled government, even if this is not officially something which is happening. But the majority of the government, the majority of the armed force in Iraq, the majority of the federal police are all controlled by the Shia community in Iraq, which, by the way, is the majority, represents the majority. So yes, the attack during the second day of Eid-al-Adha is a symbol and also a strategic decision in order to hit hard a community in a moment when they knew that they were gathering for the moment, for a special religious moment, one of the 2 most important in the entire Muslim culture.
Indeed. Let's leave it there for the moment, Daniel. I appreciate those details and inputs coming in on that developing story. We are, of course, awaiting further details that are trickling in at this point from Baghdad, where a power plant there has been struck by a terror attack.